The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
I want to spend some time here in the Stupid News talking about the Milk Crate Challenge.
Yeah, she is.
Because this is the thing now.
I don't think I could do it.
I know I couldn't.
Oh, I could not do that. Nope. I'd get too scared.
Well, you might be able to because I watched way too many videos of that. I mean, like I spent way too much time watching it.
Oh, yeah, same here.
You wouldn't be any worse than anybody else, Ashley.
I think it seemed to me that girls did a better job.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
By and far.
Do girls in general have better balance than men?
Good question.
Anyone know
Maybe.
that?
Are they?
Let's go with yes.
All right, I'll go with you.
I'm going to Google it.
Do women have better balance in general?
I watched a really cool video of this guy doing it, and once he got to the peak of the crates, he rolled a blunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that guy.
I saw that dude.
Yeah,
He was
I
good.
like it. I
He
like
was
that
good.
guy.
Yeah, he was. That was his whole thing. He was so relaxed he could roll the blunt, and then when he got done, he smoked it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Not all heroes wear capes.
Actually, you know what? I just thought of your balance issues, Ashley. Yeah, you wouldn't do very well.
Yeah.
You
See?
fell out of a chair. I saw you trip on nothing. You run into walls.
Yeah, no.
Okay, I forgot about
Yep,
that.
thank you.
I just found out about this yesterday, the Milk Crate Challenge. It's the latest viral trend. Well, let me ask you guys now. Did you get involved in any other viral trends? Did you plank and then put it online? Planking.
Well, I never put things online, but I did try some of them for fun or to
I
be
did
stupid.
the one chip challenge and the cinnamon challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, you did the one chip challenge here.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That's where you eat the hottest chip on planet Earth.
Yeah, and I only took a little corner, and it was one of the worst things ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't last with that gimmick. The Harlem Shake, I'm not sure what that is. Is that a dance or something?
That was killing people, wasn't it?
Oh, was it killing people?
Wasn't that where there was that one? And what's the one where you get out of a moving car and dance?
I can't remember what that one was.
Yeah.
Was that Ghost Riding the Whip?
Okay, I remember seeing some of that, and guys were getting run over by their own cars.
Weren't people like
smoked?
Harlem shaking off of cliffs by accident and stuff like that?
The Harlem Shake was the big group one where it's like all normal and everyone's kind of dancing. Then all of a sudden, like the beat drops and it cuts to them like wearing crazy costumes and just doing bizarre stuff. That was the Harlem Shake.
What's Bros icing Bros?
And ice is like it's like a bottle of
Smirnoff Ice.
Yeah, Smirnoff Ice, and if you ice somebody, you just like surprise them with one, and they have to get down on one knee and chug the whole entire thing.
Yeah, you kind of hide it.
Yeah.
It's like you sneak attack somebody.
How stupid.
Someone did that to me once, and I just looked at them, and I was like, "No, I'm not doing that."
Well, then you're not going to go viral. If that's your attitude, then you'll never go viral.
I'll never be one of the bros.
There was a bachelor party I was at, and everyone was icing each other. You'd go to bed, and there'd be one underneath your pillow, so then you'd have to drink it. There'd be one in like the microwave. There'd be one, everywhere.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I wish people would Big Mac me. Can we start that?
Dude, how about that?
Or a quarter pounder with cheese meat?
Oh, that'd be so good right now.
So the latest is the Milk Crate Challenge. If you've been on social media in the past few days, you've probably seen at least a couple videos of people attempting to climb mountains of plastic milk crates. Kind of pyramid style. You get to the top if you're lucky. And then you walk down. You go uppy, uppy, up like a set of stairs. You're at the very tippy top, and you go down skis.
We've got a bunch of those videos on 93x.com.
I watched a couple yesterday when I first learned of this, and I'll admit, it's effing funny.
Oh my God! Yes.
Some of the
Watching people
falls, you would think, well, it can't be that. Oh my God! You're just not expecting the level of injury. One that,
Dude like threw out his back.
oh, that was bad.
I mean,
Did you see the heavier guy? So he's shaking at the top for what seemed like a minute.
Oh, yeah.
And then he face plants so hard, and he looked like he didn't even know where he was afterwards.
Wapple, I would think that throwing out your back would be the best case scenario. I mean, this looks like you could shatter a forearm. You could compound fracture of your fibia. It's just horrible.
There's another bigger guy that just landed on one of the crates on its side. Oh, man.
puncture your spleen.
I know. He should have a kidney donor on standby.
And the best is how it's just a magical mystery ride. You never know how each one, once it starts, you never know how it's going to end exactly. You just know it's going to be hilarious.
Well, they all end in a slaughter.
Yeah.
Who should you bring?
But it's like, is the guy going to make it to the top even? Is he going to wipe out when he tries to quickly go down the backside of it? Where's the impact going to go down?
So, this is the thing. Check it out. Doctors everywhere are saying, look, the hospitals are packed enough as it is with the damn vid. We don't need you goofy SOBs coming in here with broken hips because you were trying to walk on plastic milk cartons.
It looks so bad. I can't get over it. I can watch these videos all day.
But balance is the key. And did we ever find out if women have better...
I Googled it and I couldn't determine.
Okay, we decided yes, which I can believe.
Just from personal experience, it seems like that.
I don't have great balance. What about the rest of you?
No.
Decent.
Really? Like you think you could walk across, what is that, the tractor beam? What is that in gymnastics? The
balance beam?
The balance beam.
Yeah, I think I could.
You don't...
Did you make a Star Trek reference?
I don't
by
know.
accident? That's pretty cool.
Waffle, do you think it helps that you snowboard?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
You really think you could make it across the Lambert beam? What'd you call it again?
Balance beam?
Balance beam.
Yeah, I think I could.
Do we have anything here that could recreate that?
I was going to do we need to bring crates in? Because I got some milk
No,
crates.
because someone will break their damn leg. No, we're
No.
I'm not taking a crying Wapple to the hospital. In the emergency room, guys, we got a Muppet! We got a Muppet!
He's in here again. He's crying again.
We got a broken Muppet.
This is a good question. Where are people getting all these milk crates?
Great, that's a great question. I have 2 at home, I know that much.
Do you really?
And they've been around forever. Yeah, they've been around since the 70s.
Yeah, my dad has 4.
Yeah, I have a buddy who works in restaurants. His family owns a restaurant, so he tweeted a picture of huge stacks of these milk crates and jokingly was like, all right, who wants to buy these? And then he tweeted later, he goes, okay, people are seriously DMing me trying to buy these damn milk crates.
There's I saw a picture of a store somewhere. I think it was like Walmart or something like that that sells them in like bulk.
Can you get them at Milk Crate and Barrel?
Okay, people are telling me that the balance beam in gymnastics is 4 inches wide. It really isn't that hard. The difference between something like that and this milk crate thing is obviously a balance beam is going to be perfectly stable where stacks of milk crates are not. I just love a couple of lines I've read in a story or two about the milk crate challenge. Some are calling it the greatest social media challenge the world has ever seen.
It's fun to watch those videos, that's for sure.
Some funny lines in here from an article made by Bro Bible. It says, the brave souls who attempt the milk crate challenge looked at the year 2021. They saw millions of people willing to throw away their lives because of a discredited doctor on Facebook told them the COVID vaccine contained silver particles and Ryan Seacrest DNA and said, I'd like to do something really dumb too.
Ryan Seacrest DNA.
And this is well put here. Every video is like unwrapping a chocolate from an unmarked box.
It's true.
You know you're going to get something delicious. You just don't know what it's going to be like.
You're almost disappointed when people make it.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. I was cheering for a lot of them, but it is kind of fun. The unexpected falls are the best.
Yeah.
I mean, why did you watch America's Funniest Home Videos? I didn't watch it for cute kids saying "mommy." I watched it so I could see people get mangled in many different ways.
To see Dad take a wiffle ball bat to the crotch.
Yeah.
Waffle, by the way, you're being challenged. Folks say if your balance was as good as you say it was, you probably would have passed that DUI test.
Oh, God!
Explain that one.
No, it's
Let's
the
ask the
alphabet
cop.
backwards.
Let's ask the cop. Nobody can do the alphabet backwards.
Yeah.
I think if you can do the alphabet backwards, that means you've practiced it because you drink and drive.
Yep.
That's a great point. If your balance was so good, you would have passed that effing roadside test.
I had to do like 5 tests.
Well, and it's hard to see where you're going when you're crying, too, I would imagine.
I'm way too drunk for this.
Did they make you do the alphabet and the numbers and things like that, Wappa, when you were pulled over?
Yeah, and then I also had to do the one where you stretch your arms out wide like
Yeah.
the Lindahl,
Yeah.
and then you try to touch your nose.
Oh, that's what the cops should call it. All right, we need you to do the Lindahl here.
Yeah, you start out in the Lindahl pose, and then you talk. But specifically the numbers and the letters. How'd you do with that?
The letters was bad. The numbers they made.
The letters was bad.
The grammar was bad.
It's a song.
The grammar was bad.
The grammar was bad.
Yeah, doing the alphabet backwards was tough. The numbers was tough because they made you get on one foot and then look up in the air and then do the...
Really?
Yeah, and then count.
Okay, I don't have any experience with that, but I did have to do the numbers and the letters when I was pulled over in my boat ski, and they wanted it. They wanted to know if I was gooned. And okay, here was the trick. I don't remember numbers, but I remember they put me through a letter deal, and it was go backwards, start with R, and go to D. Or C.
That's
was
hard.
That was the tricky part. Was I didn't just go Z to A. They had me go Summers in the middle, and I nailed it. I
would not have nailed that.
And I was driving home from Iowa once, and I got pulled over for speeding, and the guy made me go through like all the tests and stuff. But it was, side of the highway in Iowa. It was like 50-mile-an-hour winds, and he's trying to make me do like the walk in a straight line thing. Like, it is so windy out here, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah, man. I hear you.
I was gonna say making Nick do the walk the line in the boat, and it's already wobbly.
The funny part of the whole thing was I passed. I blew a .08, and the sheriff who pulled me over on the lake said, I saw you drinking a beer right when I pulled up on your ass. Now, the reason they pulled me over is I had two buddies in the boat with me, and they were blasted off their ass. And one of them was sitting up on the swim pad. And once I get beyond the buoys and once I get into gear, you can't have anybody standing up or sitting on the swim pad. That's a rule. I did not know my buddy was sitting up on the swim pad, and I was maybe at the most a quarter throttle, right? But that's why they pulled me over. So I blew a .08. And the sheriff said, I think I saw you drink a beer right when I pulled up on you. I said, yeah, I was just finishing one. And she said, well, then the reason you're at .08 is probably because of mouth alcohol. She said, you passed every test. You seemed fine to me. I would imagine in a half hour or so, you will drop below, whatever amount of time goes, you will drop below .08. So she said, I believe you're fine. So I'm going to let you go. But she said, she had put me in her boat and drove me away from my own boat. My own boat's just flopping in the waves with my two buddies sitting in. The funny part, maybe you had to be there, but she said, I'm going to let you go, but is there anyone in your boat that's more sober than you? And we looked over at my two buddies who just looked like Beavis and Butthead sitting there, just completely at the mercy of the wake, right? And me and the sheriff kind of laughed. I said, look at those guys. They look more sober than I do. They look like a couple of morons over there.
The Half-Assed Morning Show backtracks.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
This episode brought to you by Progressive. Whether you're driving, cooking, or doing laundry, Progressive knows the podcasts you listen to go best when they're bundled with another activity. Much like how their Progressive home and auto policies go best when they're bundled. Having these two policies together makes taking care of your insurance easier and could help you save too. Customers who save by switching their home and car insurance to Progressive save over $775 on average. That's a whole lot of savings and protection for your favorite podcast listening activities, like going on a road trip, cooking dinner, and even hitting the home gym. Yep, your home and your car are even easier to protect when you bundle your insurance together. Find your perfect combo. Get a home and car insurance quote at Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $779 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2022 and May 2023. Potential savings will vary. Not available in all states.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
The internet's come undone again. Folks arguing back and forth. I'll tell you, I read about this deal. I wasn't on the front lines for this. I'll tell you this much. I'd hate to have to decide on where to take a gal on a first date these days because, damn, according to the internet, just about every first date idea we've ever known is no longer good enough.
This was actually kind of frustrating.
Yeah.
This is insane.
I got annoyed
so I'm
reading
glad
it.
you feel that way, Ashley.
Yeah, this is absolutely insane. All of the things, I imagine you've seen the list that I've seen, Nick. All of the things on this list, I would be more than happy to do on a first date, except for the family occasions. That's weird.
Yeah, okay, there's a couple on there that I totally agree with, but
Church.
one of them on there, well, church for some people would be great. That was my parents' first date.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah, and one of them on this list was my first date with my wife, who I've been monogamous with since we got together.
You
I
have been monogamous.
Yes, that's correct.
I see where you're going with this now. I can say it unless I'm talking about myself.
It's weird. It's like this weird
criminy.
thing.
I've gone crazy. Oh, I should ask this question. So again, it appears that every first date idea that we've ever known is no longer good enough. Let me ask Ashley, because she seems to know the most about this. Does an F-boy go on a date?
No.
No, F-boys
No.
don't go on dates?
No, they don't.
I'll try to remember that.
No,
They're
not at all.
hookups. Just hookups for F-boys.
I thought you said something completely different.
Yeah, me too.
My heart dropped for a second.
The internet it's hard to believe that we're having this argument in 20 plus 23. This just seems like this is a subject we shouldn't be arguing about anymore. It's just so simple and stupid. But the internet is divided, and a huge debate has been happening over a list of 28 places women, according to the story, 28 places women refuse to go to on a first date.
I was just talking about this kind of thing with a buddy the other day because he's got a friend who's recently divorced and he's on the dating apps and, it's been frustrating for him. He's around my age, late 40s. He ended up making out with a girl at a bar. And this was like kind of a big story because he hasn't had, but he didn't close the deal and everyone was totally confused why this didn't happen. But I was thinking, I am undateable because honestly, nobody would put up with me at this point. I'm so set in my ways.
I disagree, but go ahead.
I mean, like if somebody's like, "Hey, I want to go downtown and try this new restaurant," nah, it's all right.
I'll get you an Uber. You want to go?
Yeah.
Well, but I think your charm and personality and the amount of money that you have in your bank account, of
Close
course,
to $2 million.
I think many women would overlook that. Okay, Cubby don't like to go downtown.
Oh, I think I'm good in small doses. I think just if it was this, getting into the daily routine and me turning down things constantly, that get a little old.
Yeah.
There are a lot of
people.
people.
Because I'm past the part where I fake all the interests. Certainly when you're younger. Do I want to go to Cirque du Soleil? Are you kidding? I already bought tickets. Of course I want to go.
You would be fine. You'd be crawling with ass within a half hour if your wife checked out or the two of you split up or whatever. You'd be fine. So here we go. I'm going to read to you the list of the 28 places apparently women refuse to go to on a first date now that we've hit 20 plus 23. All these places seem to me used to be fun. Well, not all of them. I have an issue with a couple of them. So here we go. Now, before you panic, Ashley has already said she finds this list ridiculous, and there are plenty of other women out there who find this list ridiculous, but this is the way they're going with this. The 28 places where women refuse to go on a first date. And you said one of these joints you took your old lady, Josh.
Yeah, it was our first date.
Let me see if I think...
You'll know it if you think about our reception.
Oh, got it. I got it already. Your wedding reception, you mean. Okay, Cheesecake Factory is in here.
I've never been there.
That was like in high school. That was the date when you were trying to be super fancy.
Exactly.
You took her to Cheesecake Factory, bro.
That was like the prom spot.
Yeah,
too.
that was the move.
Yep.
Never been crazy about the place, but number 2 on the list is one of my favorite joints, Apple Damn Bees.
Love Applebee's.
Love it, seriously.
I dig that joint. Chili's.
Nothing wrong with Chili's.
Although now it's changed
Yeah,
since
that's changed.
Dana mentioned that's the place you break up with someone at Chili's.
Yeah.
I did dump a girl at Chili's. So therefore, my current girlfriend will refuse to ever go to Chili's with me. She goes, "You can go alone if you really want the sizzling fajitas that badly."
Well, that's the thing. You can't get mad with sizzling fajitas and a giant margarita.
Right.
I love that Chili's bit, by the way. Yeah, I got taken to Chili's last night. That means you got dumped. I love that bit. Number 4, here we go, Josh. This is where you took your wife on your first date. Chipotle.
Chipotle, yeah.
Nice.
Olive Garden.
You would. That's kind of funny.
What's funny?
That Josh would take her to Chipotle for the first date.
Yeah, it's a spot.
That's great.
I bet Josh walked in. Everybody knew his name. Like, hey, Josh, you want the
Confident.
regular?
No, it was a different one. They didn't.
Okay.
But yeah, I walked in. I said, you know what? Get whatever you want. Order whatever you want off the menu.
Double protein. Go for it.
I am a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, you already know what you're going to get, so you don't have to worry about that, too.
Exactly.
Apparently, you can't take a lady to Olive's Garden.
That's another date spot in high school.
Definitely. Got a lot of homecomings there.
Unlimited breadsticks.
Get the
Nothing wrong with that.
I never went to any of these places in high school. I never hit any of these places till I was in my 20s. We just didn't do things like that. Okay, so not all of these examples of where women, according to the internet, refuse to go to on first dates anymore. Not all of them are chain restaurants and whatnot. Here we go. Apparently, the movies are off the table now. You can't take a gal to the movies.
That's the other one I thought was big.
I would say that's more of a second, third date. Because then you really can't talk at the movies.
Oh, I like to talk
That's
at
true.
movies. Like if somebody calls, I answer my phone. If they can't hear me, I just talk louder.
I guess that'd be a good way to weed someone out. Like, are they texting a lot during the movie? Do they talk a lot? Do they chew really loud?
That's true, Papa.
That was our thing. I just mentioned that we didn't go to Applebee's and Chipotle and Olive Garden and Chili's in high school for dates. We went to the movies. That was the number one most popular answer. And yeah, okay, you can't talk during a movie. You can do plenty of talking on the way there. Afterwards, you go get a few, smoke some joints or whatever you do. I agree with this one. This is kind of creepy. Hey, it's a first date. You want to come over to my house?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
I wouldn't do that.
I mean, if you're looking for an F buddy, there's nothing wrong with that. Or what's the other term? If
Plus
you're
it's
looking,
like a house party or something.
if you're looking for just a
hookup,
piece, a hookup, sure, your
friend
house.
with benefits.
Me and my boyfriend's first date was technically at his house.
What do you
Explain
mean?
yourself.
Yeah, technically.
Well, I wouldn't consider. I don't know if
What, you
you'd
met him
consider
there?
it a first date. I just was like, hey, I'm gonna come over, and he was like, cool, come over, and then I went to his house.
So that's not a first date. Your relationship is a hookup that turned into something more.
Yeah.
Right.
Me and my
You
girlfriend
floozy.
ended at her house.
I'm sorry.
Me and my girlfriends ended at her house.
You and your girlfriend's what?
First date
First
ended
date
at her house.
ended at her house.
Yes.
Okay.
Did you close the deal? Be honest.
Yes, I did.
Was that a radio answer?
No, it wasn't.
Any fast food chain is no longer cool. Buffalo Wild Wings, Wingstop, Red Lobster, a buffet.
I would be stoked if someone was like, hey, do you want to go to Old Country Buffet for the first date?
Let's go to Pizza Ranch.
Oh, I'd be so
Dude,
in.
Pizza Ranch. Yeah, but Buffalo Wild. What if you wanted to watch like a World Series game or something together?
Right. This is silly. IHOP, Denny's. What the hell is this? Okay,
That would be kind of weird. IHOP and Denny's.
What's wrong with IHOP
Breakfast
and Denny's?
dates are awesome.
Yeah, I guess I'm picturing it more just in the morning.
When my
Well, hell
wife used
no.
to work overnights, I would meet her before work sometimes.
There ain't nothing wrong with
Like
you.
at a Denny or a Perkins.
It's not. Those joints aren't just for breakfast.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, in my mindset, I'm like always there in the morning. So I'd be like, early first date in the morning.
Am I the only guy in the room who's gotten drunk at a Perkins? I'm not talking about showing up drunk. I'm talking about getting drunk.
No.
I didn't know
I'm
that.
sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. I was going the other way. Yes.
One time you don't need to hear the story, but we got drunk at Perkins.
A buddy of mine barfed all over a table at Perkins.
I barfed in a Denny's.
Yeah, because you go there at 1:30 in the morning, you're 21 years old, you're hammered, you want to get the moons over my hammy or whatever they serve.
Yes.
Okay, like I mentioned, some of these, I agree, this is an odd idea for a first date. Listen to this one. I can understand why women across all across town would say no to this. Hey, do you want to meet me at the gym?
Well, that was also a date for me and my
gross.
wife. She worked at it, or still works at a gym. So we'd go, we like to get our bodies and minds healthy together, so we'd go to the gym.
This was early in the relationship?
Yeah.
You drank coffee there, or what? You worked out?
No, worked out at
you
the
worked
gym
out
together,
together.
yeah.
Oh,
That's
I tried to do that once, like go on a first date to the gym, and it was awful. I hated it.
Can I interrupt real quick? Am I destroying my bad boy image with some of these admissions?
I'm looking at you in a different light, now, Josh. Yeah.
God dang it.
Now, okay, if you know the person, you've been on a couple of dates, you talked on the phone, you know them a little bit, then I don't think it's totally bizarre to go to the gym. If both of you are into working out, then go ahead, do your squats. But a first date, do you want to go to the gym? No.
Absolutely not.
That would
I don't
be
want
a
you to
weird
see me
first date.
The hell? I mean,
just drenched in sweat.
Right, yeah.
How sober do you think I am? Also on the list is let's go to church. That's what crazy people do.
No, thank you.
You don't go to church on a date unless you're crazy. Okay, Starbucks, or generally speaking, coffee dates.
That's odd to me. I thought that was like the safe date. Like that's what you did, Dana, right? You pretended you liked coffee.
Right, yeah.
I went on a coffee
I
date.
went on a first date, and then it went well, and we were walking out. So I was walking her to her car, and I panicked. And I said, let's get together for coffee this week, because I think that's just what people did. It was like some of the first dates I had after I got divorced.
And this is the girl you're with now?
No, different girl.
Well, wait. But you'd already been with the girl you're with now for like 3 weeks before you went on this first date at Starbucks.
That's not true.
Well, what's going on now? Because
this was the girl that you guys.
No.
I was teasing you. I'm trying to get you in trouble.
The girl that you brought to where were we last weekend?
The casino.
Yes, I remember her. Who's that other one?
That's the one that you guys made fun of me for because she took me up to her cabin and then
the other one that I saw. The other one that I saw a couple days before we went to the casino.
Sorry, I'm not following the bit.
No, you're struggling here.
She stayed in that other room you kept going between your room and that room.
Like classic sitcom style, like running back and forth between hotel rooms, trying to keep things straight.
Shirts and you got one thing wrong. Like,
Now
this is
just my opinion. I think going out for coffee is like one of the dorkiest things two people can do. It wasn't that long ago, a friend of mine said, I went on a date the other night, and I said, oh, yeah, where'd you go? Well, we just went out for coffee, and I learned that she knows my... And I said, what?
I thought that was super common.
It is. I'm calling it dorky. That's all. That's the only route I'm taking here. And this buddy of mine said, yeah, we went out for coffee. And I said, what, were you in a dry county or something? You mean you went out for coffee? Who are you, Jerry and George from Seinfeld? I just think that's wildly dorky. That's just me.
If we went to Panera, she could get coffee, I'd get some soup. What do you think of soup on a first date?
Soup.
Soup anytime, Cubby.
Anything is a vagina if you're brave enough, Jesus said. I just tuned in. I got a quick question. Where the hell are guys allowed to take ladies on a first date?
Right.
Seriously. Everything's been shot down.
And we're not even done yet.
Maybe?
He's right. We're not even done yet. Ice cream dates. Ice cream dates? When you go have a ice cream cone? I haven't heard of that one
I
yet.
think that's sweet.
Family functions, again, that's what crazy people do.
That is absolutely insane.
That's the one where I totally agreed with. I would never do that to someone. I would pray no one would ever do that to me.
You want to go out on a date? Sure. Where should we go? Well, my cousin's having a birthday party. What are you talking about? No, we're not going to a family event for a first date. Women these days don't want to do the watching a movie at your house, Netflix, Hulu thing.
Netflix and chill.
If somebody said, hey, do you want to come over and watch something on Netflix? I would think, gotta shave my pubes, gotta buy some condoms. I would think this is going to happen.
Somewhere that requires a long drive. No one wants to do that anymore.
Yeah, I understand that in case things aren't going well. That could be pretty awkward.
What's the longest you ever drove for a first date, Josh?
Madison. But it was more just to hook up.
Yeah.
I was giving her a ride to Madison. By that, I mean driving her to Madison back to school.
I know that story about but I'm talking about a date. You had no sexual plans. It was just, we're going to meet up, we're going to have dinner.
Buffalo.
Buffalo.
From where did I live at the time?
Prior Lake or something, right?
I think it was either Shakopee or Prior Lake.
So that's a pull.
Picked her up in Buffalo. That was the worst date I ever had, that night with you.
I remember that.
Let me be specific. I wasn't dating you.
Right.
You saved my ass that night.
I saved him from probably being stabbed to death on the worst first date of Cubby's life.
It was terrible.
For me, I drove up to, we're talking strictly first dates, no hookup plans. Oh, it was somewhere's like near St. Cloud from here. and it was kind of a disaster. Okay, let's wrap this up. Furthermore, the 28 places that, according to the internet, women refuse to go to on a first date anymore: bowling, a nightclub, a hookah bar.
Yeah, don't take me to a hookah bar.
I live close to one of those.
Headaches.
Okay, I've never been to one. Never been to a hookah bar. Is that where you smoke marijuana?
No, it's like a shisha or whatever.
Yeah. Shisha?
Shisha, it's called.
Shisha.
Yeah, it's
Flavored tobacco.
Warrior
thing?
Princess.
Tobacco.
Shisha, Warrior Princess. She rode a tiger. She dated He-Man. Am I way off?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's a
Pretty
different
far
thing.
Yes.
You can put marijuana in the shisha, though.
How would you know?
I may have done it.
Now, women don't want to go to the Waffle House anymore.
I would.
Kinda get that.
I've never been to a Waffle House. I hear it's great. But
Oh, they're
boy,
wonderful.
do you read a lot of news
yeah.
stories about what happens at Waffle House.
I've done some
That's
things
why
I'm
I
not
wanna
proud
go.
of.
I want to go and just watch things unfold.
Where is a Waffle House?
Down south.
Down south.
Right, okay, that's what I was going to say.
Yeah. I
didn't
used to
think we
go
had
to
one.
one when I was in Mississippi and Louisiana, back when I was a young guy. I used to travel down there now and again, and I loved going to the Waffle House.
Yeah, my
because the food was delicious, and you just don't want to stop eating because everyone is nuts.
Yeah, my buddy lives in Florida, and the first time I went to visit him, as soon as we got off the plane, I said, I want to go to a Waffle House. It was great.
And the last two here, I mean, we're just out of places. Like the text we got a few minutes ago where a listener said, where the hell are we supposed to take anyone on a first? Because the last two, they don't want to go to ball games anymore.
I don't understand what's happening here, honestly.
And,
That's a dream first date.
and simply a bar just for drinks. That's the simplest and most perfect date in my book. Let's just meet up. We don't have to watch each other eat. We'll just have a couple of drinkies and be on our way.
Wasn't too long ago we talked about younger folks aren't really drinking as much as people used to.
They're going to the hookah bar for the pisha.
Yeah, I genuinely can't think of like what else is left.
That's the question, isn't it, Smashley? What else is left?
So,
I noticed-
I thought like activities, like
Going for a hike?
yeah, something like that.
That's
I
how
thought-
you get killed.
That
Oh,
sounds
please.
terrible.
Going on a hike and activities
I'm gonna
make me
get murdered.
friggin' vomit.
Can we try something real quick
I
here?
noticed that concerts weren't in here, even though I've been on a couple first dates at concerts, and I thought it was kind of awkward just because of the
be
noise
tough.
and all the dereliction.
Yeah.
You had a question, Josh?
All right, so I just want to try something else. Insomniac Jesus recommended we try this. It's this weird connection you have between your brain and mouth when it comes to certain words and how it relates to you.
It has been interesting to find this out about myself.
All right, so let's describe this. My wife and I, since we've been together, we are exclusive. What's another word for that?
I think where you're going with this is you and your wife are monogamous.
That's right. Now, you and your wife today officially have been married for 1 month.
Yes, we have.
Now, assuming you have been true to each other,
True.
What would that be called? You and your wife are...
You meant that Maximus.
Yeah, see, it doesn't work anymore.
Maximus Aurelius.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The Rolling Stone Music Now podcast gets inside the biggest stories with Rolling Stone senior writer Brian Hyatt, Snoop Dogg, and Lotto.
Let me give you one of my secrets. I remain the biggest kid in the room at all times. There's a kid in you can't believe that. Look at where you at. Keep making it about fun.
Yeah, we blessed to be able to do a job that's like fun.
There's two funds that's the most important funds in the world. Funds that you make off of the fun that you have.
Rolling Stone Music Now, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Wapple has been singing us a special daily holiday song where he tells you it's macaroni and cheese day, it's fight for your right to party day. I don't know. All the silly little made-up holidays, and he sings it to us, and it's usually awful, but it's gathered almost a cult following at this point.
People are using them as their ringtones. And by the way, mid-September, it looks like. Wapow.
Wow, okay, a couple months.
Yeah, so 2 months. Wow.
So we decided for the very first time this morning he would sing it live. I guess I effed the dog. I thought we were just going to dive right into it. I didn't know if there was going to be a dramatic intro.
November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. International Men's Day. World Toilet Day. National Camp Day. Play Monopoly Day. Have a bad day. November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. November 19th, yeah.
Yeah.
November 19th, ooh, such a great day. November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day.
Oh, that was wonderful.
You did an awesome job.
That was incredible.
You know, I think all of us were hoping for just a wicked crash, and you nailed it.
Dude, beautiful timing.
That felt good.
Wow.
All right, let's do it again.
I'm like shaking because I felt so good about that.
Okay,
Wow.
actually, have him do
Get
it again.
over
but
yourself, dude.
This time, go punch him in the face midway through to distract him or something. That was way too good.
You're shaking because it felt so good.
Yeah, I'm literally shaking right now.
Well, what a weirdo.
I was so nervous about that. Wow.
You killed it.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
All right, just to prove that that wasn't recorded. I mean, the background vocals obviously were recorded. Start with a falsetto. I won't play the whole thing so people don't turn the channel. But do a falsetto this time, all right? So folks know it's live.
November.
Wait. I got to start the song, Paul.
Oh, for Christ's sake, we're going to do it again?
Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. November 19th, yeah. November 19th, ooh, such a great day. International Men's Day.
We're going to do the whole thing again?
No,
World
chill out.
Toilet Day. National Camp Day. Play Monopoly Day. Have a bad day. November
Excellent.
19th,
Excellent. You did it again. You did it again.
I'm proud.
This wasn't the disaster we were all hoping it would be.
Quit being so good at stuff, Wobble.
Text message just came in that said at least he's consistent. Consistently bad, but consistent.
That Muppet song was amazing. From hashtag Red Wing Frito Jesus. QA Jesus says, I have no money, but I will hire him. And that's the salary he deserves.
Yeah.
People are noting that over the last couple of months with your daily holiday song, it usually is the date followed by yeah.
Yeah, and then such a great day.
And then you sell it to be a great day.
Oh, because it's beautiful. It's November 19th.
You know, a few people are saying what they liked about your song the most this morning was they could hear your nerves.
Yeah, you need to relax a little bit. I mean, you're telling us that you're over there trembling. It's really not that big of a deal. But I was so concentrated on whether or not you were going to fall on your face that, what did you even say? Have a bad day?
Yeah. So you celebrate your worst day.
Celebrate your worst day?
Yeah. Like you remember it.
Oh, good.
Oh, so we look back. Today is the day to look back on our worst day.
Yeah, and kind of like see how far you've come, I guess.
Huh.
Oh, that's kind of nice.
Oh,
I guess.
okay.
All right. Inspirational.
I'm sitting here racking my brain for my worst day. Of course, I'm not trying to focus on really awful, tragic things. Just maybe like just a day where I couldn't get right. I'm sure I've had plenty of them, but that is kind of interesting that that's the way we should approach that holiday. I mean, I remember stepping out the front door, slipping on the ice on the step,
Oof.
And cracking my tailbone one morning. That was a bad day.
Oh, that ain't good at all.
Yeah. Just trying to let the dog out, and I went ass over apple cart. That was a bad day.
Who let the dogs out?
Wapple, come on. You killed it earlier. Don't ruin it.
Yeah, dude, what the hell was that?
You had such a positive start. You got cocky. That's what happened, isn't it?
Yeah.
You got cocky.
He gets pretty fired up about himself. He does. And then you just ruined it by throwing in a "Who let the dogs out" joke.
I think that was a joke before the song came out. That joke is so old.
Hey, we got lots to do today, which is usual around here for a Friday. Fridays are mental around here. 7:30, starting at 7:30, a conversation with Minnesota Viking offensive lineman Brian O'Neill. They got the big Packer game on Sunday, I'm told. Anybody going to the game?
Nope.
Nope, but I'm excited for it.
What else?
I actually prefer to watch them on TV.
I do too.
Less fights in the stands at home.
Yeah.
There are some fights in your house, but they're not as bad as the new Metrodome.
Snacks and the new Metrodome. Snacks and beverages far cheaper.
Yeah, you save like $200.
No lines for the bathroom.
Right, I can take a leak in record time.
Oh, yep.
I've never heard of the joint referred to as the new Metrodome. I like that.
That's good.
No, Josh, you're right. There's less of a chance of you getting tuned up by some beer-bellied ass clown if you just watch the game at home. Much cheaper.
The only sports I really like to watch live would hockey and then baseball. But baseball I kind of like on TV a lot too because we got such good announcers.
All right, so we got a purple picker coming up after 7:30. We're going to get a purple picker on the telephone, try to take a shot at that big money. And, of course, a possible trip to the big game. And then Randy Shaver faces a listener in Dad Fights episode 68. So there you effing go. Big Ghostbusters movie comes out this weekend. We were talking about it yesterday, weren't we?
We were.
You can dial it up on your TV?
No, not yet.
Gotta go to the theater.
It's going to be a while.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be, this is, I was reading an article yesterday saying it might not be till May or so.
That they
before you can get it on demand.
Put it on your television.
I kind of like when they do that.
When they do what?
When they keep it in the movie theater for a long time
Oh,
until
is
they
that right?
release it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
hate that.
Really?
I like that 15-day cycle they were having for a while.
So you're going off. This didn't even dawn on me yesterday when we were talking about it, Josh. So you're going off to the theater?
No.
What?
Like I was saying yesterday, I am not too interested in going to the theater. I'll wait.
Oh. Okay. You're going to wait a while.
Yeah, I'll wait.
Well, I can go to the theater for you, Josh, and record it because I'm alled to do that, right?
Yeah. They actually encourage it.
Okay, yep, I got you.
FaceTime me.
Yeah, of course.
It's insulting to the filmmakers if you don't bootleg the movie. They take that as an insult. Like, oh wow, my movie's not good enough for you to bootleg.
That was a thing for a while, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
People were getting in trouble for that, pointing their cell phone at a damn movie screen for 2.5 hours, then putting it on the stinking internet.
You know what movie was never recorded with a cell phone? Jack and Jill.
Jack
and Jill with Adam Sandler and Al Pacino.
That was so bad. He played both Jack and Jill, the twins. Adam Sandler did.
Oh, yep.
The only person that can do that is Santino Marella.
I'll portray a man and a woman.
A brother-sister duo.
Santino
I'll
and
portray specifically a brother-sister duo, yeah. Santino was the best at it. Somebody's texted in. Speaking of have a bad day, or however you said it, Wapple, where we're supposed to look back at our worst days. A listener has texted in and said, what about the day you were supposed to interview Black Sabbath? That was a bad day. Dude, dude or ma'am, whoever you are. That's great that you can remember that. That was a horrible day for me. Started off great. Beautiful day. Black Sabbath with Ozzy Osbourne. The original members of Black Sabbath were making an appearance at the damn Mall of America. And although I've never been much for band interviews, I was asked to interview Ozzy, Geezer, Bill Ward, Tony Iommi. And I was pretty excited about it. So I grabbed my little dorky radio interview recording machine. What do they call it?
At the time, it was a DAT player.
The DAT player. I grab that effing thing and I get in my motor vehicle, head off to Bloomington, and I left wildly early. I wanted to make sure I got there with plenty of time to relax a little bit and prepare myself for the interview. Next thing you know, there's a hellacious car crash on 494, and I'm just sitting still. But I still got plenty of time. One of those deals where you're just not moving. And now I'm starting to sweat a little bit. I'm running a little. Oh, God, it's getting close now. I'm calling our promotions director at the time. Not Grant. Pop. Chick. Way before Grant. Grant was probably in junior high, grade school. I'm calling our promotions director who's at the mall saying, I'm in big trouble here. I'm running late. Terrible car crash. And she actually made me feel much better. She said, well, the whole thing is running late, so you're probably going to be okay. That didn't end up being the case. By the time I got to the mall after getting beyond this car crash, I was sprinting through the effing mall to make sure I don't miss this interview. I get there, and the promotions lady says, okay, they're ready for you. They're right behind that door. And I have that DAT player, and I excitedly whip open the door and walk through into this hallway. And in all my excitement and nervousness, I got the mic cord somehow wrapped around the doorknob of this door.
Oh, no.
So as I walk in, and the first thing I see are those 4 iconic members of Black Sabbath standing in the hallway. And they're dressed as if they're going on stage, because they're about ready to meet the public. Kind of intimidating. But that only lasted just for a split second, because then the DAT player is yanked out of my hands. It shoots up in the air, comes down onto the floor, and smashes into a million pieces.
That sucks so bad.
Man.
No.
And I, just like a child, now I'm on my hands and knees trying to put this thing back together. And I'll never forget looking up at Black Sabbath as they looked down upon me, and they all had a look on their face that told me they were thinking, who is this moron? And I'm saying, hey, just a minute, guys, I'll get this thing back together. They didn't say a word. They just walked away.
Dude.
They just simply walked away from me without saying a word, which kind of pissed me off, to be honest. After all I had been through, that did kind of piss me off. I felt like screaming, F you, Black Sabbath, AC/DC's where it's at. I felt like taking it out on them. It wouldn't have been fair, but I felt like I put the damn thing back together, and I say to the promotions lady, well, okay, I got this thing back together. Can I still go do the interview with Black? No, they left.
Oh. Nowadays, it'd be kind of a blessing. It's nice when, especially rock stars, cancel.
Oh,
that is a nice feeling.
Josh, you're 100% correct. I was so young and naive at the time, I didn't realize that. That was a blessing in disguise. It probably would have been a horrible interview. It probably would have been a complete disaster.
I wonder if you're the reason why we have little recorders that just plug into the back of the microphone now.
Maybe.
It just makes the mic look longer. There's no cord, no nothing.
Right. Maybe, because I beat the piss out of that thing. It probably would have been a horrible interview because Ozzy is and was so difficult to understand. And I think Geezer Butler and Tony Iommi have a decent sense of humor. But, yeah, in the end, that was probably a blessing in disguise. Maybe in the end, that was a great day. Boy, if it wasn't for the brother and sisterhood, I wouldn't remember anything. I forgot that the rest of the Black Sabbath story, the end of the Black Sabbath story, was about an hour after this DAT player disaster. I was approached, and they said, well, they will let you interview Bill Ward, the drummer for Black Sabbath. And okay. And then the dude spent the entire interview eating cheese. And I couldn't understand a word he was saying because he's so English and because his mouth was full of cheese.
The Mall of America has some good cheese.
So the interview was never used, thankfully. I remember even, Josh, you were saying you were kind of helping out this individual to do an interview.
Yeah.
You were trying to. He didn't take your help. I had somebody with me, too, a friend, not a friend, a coworker. who just sat there with me, just to be there, for a chance to meet Bill Ward from Black Sabbath. And I'll give my coworker credit. He instantly, you'd have to be stupid not to, he instantly understood how awkward and stupid this interview was, because the man would not stop eating cheese while I'm trying to ask him about effing the legacy of Black Sabbath. So my coworker at one point interrupted Bill Ward and said, "Can I have some of that cheese?"
Was he willing to share the cheese?
And Bill Ward's like, "Go ahead, you have as much cheese as you like."
He's polite.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show, Backtracks Edition.
Hey, Josh.
Yeah.
Remember back a few years ago, boy, has it been years now? Remember when Wapple disrespected garbage men and garbage women, and if it wasn't for us, talking those people down, they would have kicked his ass all over town?
Yeah, he would have ended up in a dumpster somewhere.
How long ago was that, Wapple, when you disrespected the profession of waste removal?
Maybe 4 years ago, 5 years ago.
Unbelievable how time passes. Some of them are still mad at you about it.
Oh, I thought they all made up.
Now, some of them are still mad.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Because he went out there and saw what it was like and realized he was wrong.
They're still mad. At any rate, do you want to hear some of the interesting finds garbage men and garbage women have experienced?
I bet there's some good stuff
along the route. I don't know how do you say it?
I say route.
Do you say route along their route? I want to find this out too. And we know you're out there, garbage men und garbage women. Text us 68683. Start your message with Nick or Josh. I left something pretty cool for the garbage man years ago, and I regret the ass off of it when I threw away my... What was the gaming system that featured my favorite video game, James Bond shooting people game?
N64.
I threw away. I just threw it away. It was perfectly... I was moving, and I was sweaty, and I was tired, and I had everything packed, and there's my video games up in the corner. I forgot that they were there, and I was just so burned out on the process, I just put it in the garbage can. I had a wrestling game, Wapple, where Hulk Hogan would rake the back of his opponent. I had a wrestling video game. I had a fun boxing video game, basketball. But the one that breaks my heart the most is the James Bond. Just threw it away.
You loved that game.
I also dumped hundreds of porno movies. And I hope you're not saying, "You sick sumbitch." No, a lot of those porn movies were those hairy German ones that were gifted to Josh and I.
There were some weird titles in there.
Yeah, like Das Boot and things like that.
Das Hair.
Das Hairs.
There was an episode of My Name is Earl where Crabman had to get rid of his porn magazines, Classy Asses, I think it was called.
Classy Asses.
His wife, Joy, made him get rid of them, and so he put them all out to be taken away by the garbage man, but the neighborhood kids got them first. They swarmed like a bunch of vampires.
Joy is like that? Joy made her boyfriend get rid of his porn?
She had a funny line about it, but she wanted to know why he would need to look at that when he's got her.
Okay, I'm tired of that line.
She wasn't happy.
I thought Joy was cooler than that on My Name is Earl. But, that was the same ending to my story, Josh. So the garbage man took my video game system, and I hope you're having a hell of a time with it. I deserve, if the garbage man who grabbed it was able to text me right now and say, "Ha ha, sucker, I still play," I would deserve that because I was stupid to throw it away. With the porno, it never got to the garbage man because my neighbors, I lived next door to some 22, 23-year-old guys. They spotted those porns and they took them back to their place. So I'm interested in this too. Finds, wonderful finds from trash removal people. In the 80s, one said, "I picked up a number of Philips color TVs. Fixing them was just a question, is how you say it, of swapping parts. I sold them for cheap or gave them away. Bunch of TVs." Well, it's kind of similar to my nightmare regret of throwing away my video game system. Garbage man found a PS4 in excellent condition and a brand new controller still in the box.
Wow.
A pretty much unused trampoline.
Wow, that's awesome.
You got yourself a trampoline. A go-kart that easily got... Yeah. A go-kart that easily got fixed up, and they used it all the time.
That's awesome. That's my favorite so far.
Yeah, you know how many days, probably just as many as you, Josh, where I sat there as a kid wondering, what's a guy got to do to get a go-kart around here?
I still think I got to get a go-kart.
Have you looked into it?
Yeah.
They're incredible.
Every summer I look into it.
They're incredible.
Lady trash truck driver, she's checking in. Not so much a find, but given to me last Christmas, a bottle of Frank Sinatra's Jack Daniels.
Frank Sinatra made up his own Jack Daniels?
Yes.
Or a bottle that, of Jack Daniels that Frank Sinatra owned.
Oh, boy, I don't know now.
It's cool either way.
It's a local area code. Well, I guess somebody could have picked it up from Frank Sinatra elsewhere and gave it to him.
Do you know that I know a woman who, not through the trash, but through a garage sale, ended up with Ace Frehley's alarm clock?
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a true story. Okay, garbage men finding cool stuff. This was behind a deli. They threw away a pile of Snapple sodas. Dude said he had unlimited Snapples. Snapple was that's not a soda, that's like a fruit drink, right?
Yeah.
Tea.
He ended up with unlimited Snapples and sodas of every flavor. Lasted him a year. I don't exactly know why they dumped it all. If somebody read the what's the word I'm looking for? The expiration date incorrectly or something, but there you go. Guy didn't have to buy a damn non-alcoholic drink for a year. Another garbage man says, my first dog was in the trash.
Oh.
Well, courtesy of his dad. I guess his dad was a garbage man, picked up a box, heard some shuffling in the box, and there were 2 puppies inside the box. What kind of cold-hearted son of a bitch?
No kidding.
Throws a couple. So his dad brought one home. The other truck driver kept the other. Named it Jasper.
There's something similar. This text says, picked up a feral cat in a dumpster. Had no idea what was there till I got to the dump, or no idea it was there till I got to the dump about 3 hours and 50 minutes later. Dumped the load and a terrified wild cat came flying out of the transfer station.
And then he kept it?
That's what they said, yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
Well, I assumed that. He wrote, picked up a feral cat. So maybe he didn't keep it.
Not all of this is good news. I worked at a garbage plant, and all I got was Wells disease from the rat piss on the garbage.
Ooh.
I was ill for weeks. I'm sorry about that, bro. What does this say? Oh, God, this is terrible. Some old man kept throwing... Well, what's an old man doing with condoms?
He might have found them.
Well, it says there's an 80-year-old man who kept throwing his used condoms in with the plastics.
Gotta recycle them.
Yeah.
Someone's gonna use this again.
So, with your plastic Mountain Dew bottles, and the dude was putting his used rubbers in there. They had to pull them aside and say, dude, you could just throw the rubbers in the regular garbage.
He's thoughtful.
A 1944 hand grenade.
Wow.
I would be terrified to keep any kind of a hand grenade, wouldn't you, Josh?
Me too. I mean, I'd love to have one, but I'd be nervous to own one. I'd be one of the guys that would make the news for something stupid.
Oh, blowing your right arm off because
I sneeze, I knock it to the ground, and it blows up the entire neighborhood.
Cuts off the power to the neighborhood on Super Bowl Sunday or something like that. At a nightclub? Damn. At a nightclub, some band threw away their gear. Garbage man got 3, I don't know what this means, preamps, 2 300-watt stage speakers, and a guitar amp.
Wow. They must have been, like, it was their last gig, and they hated each other. They broke up.
That's what I was thinking.
We're talking about rage quitting today. They rage quit the band.
Right. Some form of rage quitting, where the lead singer, they had a bad gig, and the lead singer, who everyone was intimidated by, took all their amps and put them in the garbage and said, this is where this stuff belongs if you guys can't keep up with me.
Here, I got an update on the Jack Daniels from Frank Sinatra.
Oh, wonderful.
It's a special blend, $200 a bottle. So that's a heck of a gift she received.
And back to the rubbers thing. I mean, don't you just wash them out and reuse them?
Put them in the dishwasher?
Well, you turn them inside out the first time, and then, you have to wash them after that. By the way, Wapple, some different waste companies have checked in, and they say they're not mad at you anymore.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so rest assured you're okay.
I would have been worried on Wednesdays.
That's
that's recycling.
That's when they show up. More of these treasures that garbage men and women have found. A freezer stuffed with skinned, rotting, headless deer carcasses.
Ooh.
He or she said we nearly had to call the cops because we thought they were human at first. Thought maybe they were dealing with a psychomaniac. Used needles. There was a couch so filled with needles we called it the porcupine couch. God dang.
This text says someone threw away a blow-up doll, so we strapped it to one of the other driver's front seats with a dildo in its mouth. Like a little mascot. You could probably go in the carpool lane.
Enough brand new furniture to literally furnish my whole apartment. Yeah, people will just dump good stuff from time to time. A high-end military-grade inflatable boat. Oh, an inflatable boat. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I was going to make fun of that comment, but it's not worthy of being made fun of. A high-end military-grade inflatable boat, brand new. You go fishing in that, Cubby, me and you.
That'd be fun.
A coffin, no body, just a coffin. Buckets of testicles.
What?
Are you picturing a human set of testicles, Ashley?
Yeah.
I was assuming animal.
But these belonged, this came from a ranch, a cattle ranch.
Okay.
You could sell those to a restaurant.
Some lady lost $10,000 in a duffel bag. Came into the garbage plant crying and screaming. Never found it. Well,
I bet someone found it.
16 full-size... Yeah, I bet. Yeah, right. The garbage guys didn't find it.
Yeah, someone found it.
16 full-size barrels of old vegetable grease some guy had saved up in his garage. He was planning to make biodiesel fuel or something.
Can't you get money for that stuff, honestly?
Yeah. I've heard stories.
Like, I thought there was some decent money in that.
You can find some disgusting / wonderful treasures at the campground, too, after everybody has left. You got your concert festival, like we used to do Edge Fest every year, Josh, which got miserable towards the end. I think you'd agree with me. You've got like BIR, We Fest. Here are some treasures people, if you want to call them that, they're not treasures in a lot of cases. Here are some things people found in those situations after everybody up and left. Prosthetic leg.
Wow. That'd be something to keep.
A 5-liter water jug filled with urine. A lidded saucepan containing a single fairly large turd.
Oh, lucky.
Right. The amount of tents people left behind was amazing. And I get it. You know, festival's over. You're hungover to beat hell. You're exhausted. All you want to do is get the hell out of there. You going to take the time to break down a tent? Hell no. I'll buy a new one before the next festival.
Don't they talk on some of the mountains that are very well climbed? Don't they say that they're usually covered in human turds?
Yeah.
People kind of poop, sometimes in bags, hopefully, and just leave it there?
Yeah, I think I've heard that before.
Oh.
Listen to this. Here's an individual who lived in a downtown area, and that downtown area used to host a big, 3-day concert festival, and it turns into just a binge drinking paradise. But right downtown, he steps out of his door one morning, the last night of the festival, and it was nighttime. Steps out of his door. There's a young woman passed out in the alley. He ran over to her to make sure she was alive. He called 911. They advised her to poke her with his foot to see if she was alive. He pokes this chick with his foot. He almost died of a heart attack when she leapt up, screamed like an effing banshee, he says, and threw an empty bottle is how you say it, of Fireball, and it hit him square in the chest. She then runs / stumbles down the alley, stops, takes off all of her clothes, now she's completely naked, and pees in the road. And then she took off down the street.
Now that's a treasure.
Mm-hmm.
Finding that.
Music festival. An individual says, I had to clean one of the portable shower stalls. I use those once or twice up at Brainerd, the portable shower stall. Someone had laid a turd in the corner of the shower stall and stuck a cocktail umbrella in it.
Ah.
A lot of people found money, drugs, watches, phones, perfectly good clothes, wallets, dildos. And I know we got some texts from our garbage people out there, garbage men and women, talking about the treasures that they have found throughout their career. Did you have any of those in front of you, Josh?
I'm still going through some of them. I mean, we're speaking of treasures. I found 2 electric scooters worth about $250 each. Just needed a $1 fuse. That's from 3 miles to the gallon trash truck, Jesus. See, I wish I knew how to fix stuff. I mean, those I probably would give away to somebody smarter than me to fix, but can you imagine that, finding out it's just a $1 fuse?
Yeah, I know. I have a fairly definitive list here from the brother/sisterhood.
I mean, another good one here was drinking beer in the garage, Jesus, who owns around 40 bag chairs, 4 brand new tents, and a pool and a Weber grill.
Just from being a trash guy?
I don't know. Oh, no, this is WeFest for 3 years.
I got my tent stolen once at a concert festival.
Like, were you were at the show and came back and it was gone? Or?
Well, it was at night. I was by myself. Everybody left. All my friends left. And I wanted to stay. Luckily, I had a buddy, down the trail who had a camper. I drank with my buddy until 2, 3 in the morning. Well, thanks for the beers, boys. I'm going to go back to my tent and go to sleep. It was gone.
Oh, I'd be so mad.
So I had to come and rap on their camper and say, can I spend the night with you? All right, thank you for your text. Here are some of the items our listeners have found in the trash. Brand new GoPro camera in the package.
Sweet.
Wonder how that happened.
A hoverboard. Canuck Jesus. I found a hoverboard, went home, charged it. It worked perfectly. Later on, I destroyed myself on it.
You said Canuck Jesus?
Canuck Jesus.
That's who I worked with.
Well, there you go. What do you mean you worked with?
When I was a garbage man.
Oh, when you did the bit on the air?
Yeah, he says to give you a shout out.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
8, over this individual's career, 8 Roomba vacuums. Dildos, sex swings.
There's a lot of sex stuff, a lot of magazines and pornos.
Yeah, you got to update that now and again. I've filled a few trash bags with adult material. Found a live chicken at a landfill, brought it home. Found an autographed Johnny Bench baseball. My goodness.
Wow.
6 working game systems. An electric guitar in perfect working order, an acoustic guitar in perfect working order. Found a hamster in its cage, kept it, named it Hopper.
Cute.
Found a headless, armless, legless torso in a black zip-up bag. It was actually a rubber, life-sized masturbatory aid. Found a silicone boob implant. I used it as a stress ball. Found Korn's first demo CD with a note to Sony Music to give them a listen. Now, here's someone trying to start trouble. They say, you know what no garbage man has ever found? Actual truck driver status. That's what they've never found.
Why would you say something?
I don't know why. People always got to start trouble.
Is there a known rivalry between truck drivers and garbage men?
I don't know. Polaroids of everybody's wives. They throw them at the bottom of the garbage bag thinking we won't see them, but when you tip it upside down, that's the first thing you see.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
One of the greater Toronto area's largest property developers says it was, quote, extremely inappropriate and entirely unacceptable that workers associated with one of its drywall contractors had a stripper at a job site last week.
Oh, my gosh.
Mm-hmm.
Like a wallpaper stripper?
No. Like, remember that gal at KOD years ago that you pledged your love to and promised her the moon?
Yep.
That kind of a stripper.
It's a good memory for me, not her.
Oh, I'm sure she thinks about you still to this day. So, yeah, the boys had a stripper at the job site. Photos of the incident that had been posted on Twitter showed several people involved with Nelmar Drywall, all of whom have since been fired, partying with a stripper at one of its job sites back on April 9th. In an emailed statement, the boss said, "We hold our trade partners to a high standard and insist that they conduct themselves professionally and ethically. Those standards were not met in this situation." The boss also went on to say it will be reinforcing its policies and expectations regarding its workplace code of conduct as well as its COVID-19 protocols. That's about as dumb as it gets. And then, of course, some donkey has to put the pictures up on Twitter.
Right, that's
Of course,
even
yeah.
dumber. I've never seen anybody do a butt body shot before. And these guys are doing shots of vodka off her butt.
Oh, yeah? Where you pour it down the crack?
Cool.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
You pour it down and one guy's below with his yap open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's mostly dressed in the photos I saw. She's got like a very tight dress on, and she kind of pulls it up.
Sure.
So the guy behind her, who looks to be of grandfather age, could do a butt shot.
I've seen a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I remember at a bachelor party many, many years ago, the stripper was pouring beer down the front of her naked body, and a few of my friends got into position to drink the beer as she poured it down her body.
I've seen that.
She called it a bush beer. Who wants a bush beer? $5 for a...
That's awesome.
And one of my friends signed up for, 10 or 12 of those in a row, right? Okay, bachelor party, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. We've been drinking for a good 14 hours or something like that. And I'm sitting there going, boy, Donnie over there is really going all in on the bush beers. And then, the night is shutting down, and the young lady wants to collect her money and leave, and she walks up to Donnie and says, yeah, that'll be, $350. And he goes, what? And she said, what, because of all the... Oh, I don't have any money.
Oh.
And that's really what he sounds like, by the way. So if any of my friends are listening, they know who I'm talking about. So we all, as if we aren't already tired and wasted, and as if we hadn't already spent all of our money, now we got to cover Donnie's sorry ass.
Oh, that's great.
Was this... So did the muscly security guards give him a strange look?
The muscly security guard certainly took a few steps closer to Donnie.
I would think so.
When he realized that Donnie didn't have a dime on him. And he thought, of course, because he's a moron, he thought she was doing this because she liked him. Wake up, bro. Wake up.
No.
Union Drywall Jesus wants to know if that drywall company is hiring. They've got a few bodies to fill, that's for sure. And also, the Brotherhood says that's called a butt luge.
That's right.
Doing the body shot back there.
That is effing right.
Sounds fun.
But, everybody horses around at work a little bit. It's good for you. But if you go too far, you're going to get canned. I wanted to ask our listeners, if you don't mind getting on the text machine when you have a minute, what are some of the hopefully non-fireable things you do at work to keep things loose? I loved I loved hearing my dad, back when he was an over-the-road truck driver, he would tell me stories of the dock crew and the pranks they would pull on each other. It was riotously funny. He didn't get to spend a hell of a lot of time with the dock crew. He was, he'd show up, get in a rig, and drive to Lincoln, Nebraska, but he got to see a little bit of the shenanigans. I know when I used to work warehouse jobs, we had a lot of fun. When we were able to find the time to horse around. One of the things that we did, which is harmless, we worked in a warehouse that made ceiling texture and wall texture and stains for your deck, and so we put the product in buckets. So we had buckets everywhere. We'd stack buckets up about 7 feet tall, and then make a basketball out of shrink wrap, and we'd play shrink wrap basketball. So you couldn't dribble it. You just kind of tucked it under your arm like a football. But, you had to dunk the shrink wrap basketball into the 7 foot tall, stack of buckets, forklift races. which were frowned upon by the management.
That sounds fun, though.
Can you think of anything from around here or any other jobs that you had where you just found the time to have some laughs?
Or are you asking
any of you? Any of you?
Well, it was fun when we had those gas-powered coolers. That was fun to cruise those around the building until we broke one. Or I shouldn't say we broke it; it just ended up dying on
What?
us.
What is this?
We had these gas-powered coolers, and you could make a train of different non-powered coolers,
Oh.
and just kind of we would cruise around the building.
Beer cooler with a steering wheel and a little engine on it.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Oh, that does not sound safe for you guys.
Josh and I went around corners. It was like one of those Indy races or something. Just we could kick the ass end out, and then
rally car. You're like Ken Block.
But then I think what happened was then the both of us got on it at once.
Yep.
I rode bitch, and I think we just our weight murdered the poor thing, and that was the end of that.
Yeah, it just motor couldn't handle it anymore.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, I had a scooter in the garage over here, and I would ride around on it when I was doing best of shows. When I was going to and from the garage, smoking cigarettes.
Like an electric scooter or
no, one of those razor ones.
Gotcha.
I'd do tail whips in the hallway.
Like
no one was here.
So cool.
It was awesome.
This is for you WWE fans. Would you roll into a salesperson's office and then go, bro? What's his name again? Riddle?
Matt Riddle.
Another one that maybe you had to be there was at this warehouse gig I had fresh out of high school. Our foreman was this hilarious dude. I still miss him. We just had so much fun. We would listen to, the radio in the warehouse, and every once in a while a song would come on. Usually it was something by Mariah Carey, and he would bust out dancing in the middle of work.
That's awesome.
And he was an incredible dancer. Just ba, ba, da, da, da. And we put up a sign. One day he walked in, and we had put up a sign that says, absolutely no dancing. He was devastated. What do you mean? He thought management had put it up. We were just messing with him. He thought management put it up. So then the game was he would try to dance without anybody looking. You see what I'm saying? So we'd come around the corner and catch him dancing and point at the sign, and he'd stop and act like he wasn't dancing.
I've seen that on a bumper sticker. Dance like nobody's watching.
Yeah, that was his thing.
It was like Footloose.
One of my favorite things about American Chopper was all the crazy stuff those guys would do for fun at their jobs. Blowing stuff up, driving through things.
So then this dancing guy, he hated that me and some of the other dudes would sing along to the radio. So he put up a big sign that said, absolutely no singing. So then we would have that little thing. Told you had to be there. But I wanted to ask you, at the newsroom, over the years, what were some of the things you and your coworkers would do to just kind of F off and have some laughs?
Well, when Majors was at the height, his stay at CARE, he would throw the flaming balls of death through the newsroom.
What were the flaming balls of death?
He would wad up a huge paper ball and then light it on fire.
And then just toss it randomly?
Toss it through the newsroom, yes.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Anybody have their hair catch on fire?
No, but it scattered people pretty good.
Just a flaming ball would come shooting, out of nowhere, and you'd all be diving.
That's the last time we really had fun in the newsroom.
Really? This doesn't happen anymore? The fun ended when he left?
The fun really ended when he left. Yes.
You're not in charge of any shenanigans?
I'm not really good at shenanigans.
No. Well, you're kind of a tight ass. Yeah, I see what you mean by that.
Yeah. I'm not a shenanigans kind of guy.
Here's a text, just an example. Grindcore Jesus said, we used to go outside with our forklifts and put people's cars on blocks just high enough that it's off the ground that they don't notice.
That's hilarious.
So you take tiny little blocks, so the tires cover them up. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Text us, 68683, start your message with Nick or Josh. We'll get to this. Effing around at work. I was mentioning that the warehouse jobs that I used to have when I was a young guy, forklift races, and we played shrink wrap basketball and things like that. It was great.
When the newsroom was being reshuffled, new carpet, new furniture kind of thing, they had to take everything out and we ended up setting up in one of the vacant studios. We have 2 of them, so the one vacant one, we set up a makeshift wiffle ball field.
Nice.
And of course, high ceilings in the studio. And so you had like a wall of desks were like like Fenway,
right?
The large wall, and
right?
Stuff. And we played some mean ass wiffle ball games for about almost 2 weeks.
Just sweating your ass
everybody
off.
Was gone. This is between the 6 and the 10.
Sure.
When all the bosses, everybody went home.
That's great.
We would set up the wiffle ball field, and Perkins and myself and Steve Leary and a whole bunch of different guys, and just had a blast.
See, I had forgotten about that, Josh.
We used to play a lot of that around.
We used to play a ton of wiffle ball in the studio. There are probably a few people in the building who don't want to hear about this, but I mean, we were smashing the equipment into oblivion now and again. You rip what did I just call it? A wiffle ball across the room. It bounces off the wall. It lands on the board. The bat was a Mountain Dew bottle, 20-ounce Mountain Dew bottle, because Josh usually had a dozen empties of those sumbitches. A wiffle ball, and then the Mountain Dew bottle was your bat. We used to have a Pop-A-Shot basketball hoop in the studio, didn't we, Josh?
Oh, yes, we did. Yeah, and the one you're in right there. I forgot about that.
I was obsessed with that. Yeah. Me and another intern would play Pop-A-Shot basketball.
But our intern TJ at the time, he took a lot of wiffle balls to the face because he was usually the all-time pitcher. And he would just get drilled.
Well, he had zero reflexes.
And remember that we got him a catcher's mask.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
I would rip these Tony Gwynn line drives right back up the box and hit him in the schnoz. Just his reflexes were for jack squat. But it was kind of funny, like if we're usually pretty lucky around here. We do this program, and then afterwards we still remain in our studios and do what we have to do in the studios. We don't mix much with management. But every once in a while, what was funny was, a boss would call us into their office, and we'd be soaked in sweat, every one of us. And the boss would say, well, what the hell's going on around here? Oh, we're nervous. We got a big interview tomorrow. We didn't want to tell them that we were treating the studios like a gymnasium.
But is there still wiffle balls lodged in the ceilings in that? Remember?
I'm looking.
There's usually 3, 4 that would just be lodged up there.
Yeah.
I got 3 in mine.
Do you really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I hit one, Randy. It looked like Barry Bonds, hitting it into the bay. When he used to just.
Oh yeah.
Smiling Don cut my thumb open on that Pop-A-Shot basketball hoop. Slaps down on me hard foul, and his thumbnail tore into my hand.
Oh.
Trim your nails. What are you, a Labrador or something? Smiling Don, he had these dangerously long fingernails and thumbnails. Was he scooping coke up with those things?
That surprises me. He's so manicured, He's so well put together.
The most I ever bled playing basketball was in this building because Don fouled me. We asked the brotherhood and sisterhood to text us. And man, this is fun. Reading these text messages is bringing back some great memories of some of the warehouse gigs that I had when I was a young guy. My God, the summer jobs that I had when, of course you wanted to make a little beer money and, be able to afford a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But more than anything, we just had a blast because you didn't care. 68683, start your message with Nick or Josh if you want to squeeze an effing off at work story. But Josh, what's the brotherhood and sisterhood been up to?
Stuck in Brainerd Jesus used to be a cook, much like Wapple. Wapple, let me know if you've ever done something like this. He said they would, quote, douche people's drinks, where they would cook walleye, take the juice from the fish and put it in other cooks' drinks, and then add olive juice, salt, hot sauce, and people weren't happy about it.
Oh, gross.
When I worked at a restaurant, we used to, as an experiment, tried to see how hot we could make the manager's food. They'd have these meetings. And so every time they'd have these meetings, we put a little more hot sauce just to see before somebody noticed it. Nobody ever noticed. I mean, this went on for a year.
Serious?
It was like at Tuesdays. I think it was every Tuesday afternoon they'd have this meeting and we'd make food for everybody. And
this manager must have been very...
Well, there's a group of them. There's like 4 or 5 of them.
They must have been very good people.
Or either that or they had a real high limit for Scoville units.
I mean, to where Did they know you guys were pranking them?
Well, if they did, they didn't give us the satisfaction of telling us. They were great to work for. They would have appreciated the humor.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, they must have been very cool people, because if they weren't and they would have found out, you guys would have been instantly canned.
We did something similar to the drink thing. We would take their straws, and then we would dip the one end of the straw in a packet of Chipotle, like hot Chipotle.
Okay.
And then we'd put it back in the drink. So the hot sauce is now on the bottom of the straw in the drink.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't so when it touched their lips, it would draw their attention. You wanted them to suck it up.
Yeah, the first thing that you would drink was the hot sauce that would shoot straight in your mouth.
And they thought it was a Sprite or a Coke or something.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Also, another one we did was we would fill cups up with ice cream, mayo, just a bunch of different stuff, and then we would flip it upside down on a prep table.
Okay. So the cup is now opening down?
Yeah,
All
the
right.
opening, so everything's kind of held inside.
Sure.
And then someone would walk by and they'd lift it up and just a huge mess.
Black Lavender Jesus said at his job, his coworker took all of his friends' uniforms, soaked them in water on a 0-degree day, and posed them doing different things outside. And the buddy got him back by putting the man's truck on the corner for sale, leaving his number on the for sale sign. Urology nurse here. In other words, penis all day long, they said. We'd get fun samples in the office, one of which was a birthday cake lube packet. Myself and a fellow nurse and doctor would put these lube packets everywhere. Doctors' pockets, under cushions, on chairs, jackets, anywhere we could, we would hide these lube packets. This one's good. This is a good prank. A group of guys kept putting gas into a coworker's gas tank after he just rebuilt his engine. And this guy would continue to brag about the great gas mileage he was getting. Then one day we stopped, so his miles per gallon dropped back to normal. And we had to let him in on the joke because he was about to pull the engine apart and rebuild it.
Man, that is brilliant.
That's really good. That's from my Dance Like Cousins Jesus.
That's the thing about some of these stories is it just took planning and teamwork. It's just fun.
And that's so simple. It's great.
Oh, yeah.
My boss bought all of us office workers Nerf guns so we could have impromptu Nerf wars. That's awesome. This text says,
fun.
Back in high school in the 90s, I was a cook. We would plastic wrap coworkers' vehicles and cover it with tons of condiments, mayo, barbecue, ketchup. When we were at our old building in Golden Valley, a bunch of us lifted up a coworker's car and moved it 2 parking spaces over.
I remember that.
And we're all standing outside waiting for her to come back out. She didn't notice a thing.
She
Got in her
didn't?
car and left. Yeah.
How many of you did it take to lift this vehicle?
It was like 8 of us. It was like a
but still.
Corolla. Little Corolla.
You moved it 2 whole parking spaces.
2 spaces. Took a while.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, I bet it did.
I wired a backup beeper to the turn signal of my boss's work truck from Trace Rios Jesus. Pretty good.
So every time he turns
it's a turn signal, starts beeping at him. I tied off the sleeves of a coworker's jacket. Funny as hell, trying to watch him get it on. And finally, I worked at a job where while I was out on a sales call, they hooked up a reserve windshield washer fluid tank under my hood. So when I got in and touched the brakes, it sprayed the entire front of me with water.
Oh, man. I wish I knew how to do stuff like that.
Me too.
Shenanigans on the job. We continue on. Well, first I'll tell you that my old man, being a career over-the-road truck driver, he's been retired now for many years, but he told me a couple stories that these guys were they were smooth mean to each other. They were mean to each other. You know, when let's say he would go to Chicago, normally he'd have 1 or 2 guys behind him. You know, other drivers. You know, they'd gather up, group up, and head to the same destination together. And these were buddies of his, so then they'd end up staying in the same motel room together many, many times. So they'd be in, CB communication the whole way to Chicago, jaw-jacking, having fun. By the time they got to the hotel room, get a few beers in them, and then these pranks would begin. But I always thought this was a couple. These are just mean. He said one dude had a wife who would make him meals and pack a cooler full of food, and my dad said this gal could cook. She was a great cook, And specifically, she would make these incredible pork chop sandwiches. And as soon as dude would go take a shower, my dad and the other trucker would bust open his cooler and eat his pork chop sandwiches while the guy was in the shower.
Oh, you can't eat another guy's food.
And the guy would come out pissed off, starving, like, I've been craving those pork chops. The other prank they'd play on the guy is that he would fall asleep before the rest of them and then pee in his boots.
Oh, jeez.
He'd wake up the next day, put on his work boots, and his boots would be full of pee. All right, here's some entries from the Brotherhood.
I'd imagine you'd freak out when one of those things happened to you.
I'd be pissed. I'd be absolutely pissed. That's what I'm talking about. Demolition derbies with electric scooters.
Oh, I bet that's fun.
Demolition derbies with, he calls them Granny's electric scooters. I think, are we talking about the little Lark? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, mobility scooter.
Mobility scooter? That's from number one boiler operator Jesus. He said it was good that we had a welder on hand at the warehouse. Here's, putting cars up on blocks with the forklift. That's hilarious. How about this? Dude works at the airport. And as you can imagine, they're plowing off the runways, and they'd make massive snow piles. Back in the day, in the winter, we would attempt to climb these 12 to 13-foot snowbanks with our pickup trucks. I bet that was a riot.
Yeah, no kidding.
I bet that was a riot.
Sounds fun.
Garbage man, recycling Jesus. Whenever we'd find a suction cup dildo, we would stick it to the top of the recycling cart for the next driver. Some of the stuff is just great fun, nothing terrible. Worked at a sandwich shop. We would play baseball at night with a broom as the bat and bread dough as the ball. Set up bases and everything. This was when weather was bad and there was little to no business. How about this? You see, this is where it goes too far, effing around at work. Gravel outlaw Jesus said we had a moron at work that was bored in the winter. He took his front end loader out onto a frozen pond to whip donuts, and he broke through the ice and got the loader stuck in the pond.
Ooh.
I bet you just get immediately fired. Back in the day, warehouse job, baseball, shrink wrap was the ball, and we'd pull a board off the pallets. That was the bat. Boy, I bet you could launch that shrink wrap with the board from the pallet. Pallet jack races. Now, we did this at my old warehouse jobs. The pallet jack races. Kind of like a scooter, only much more dangerous. But we had a couple people text in about that. They would see who could pull the best drift around the corner on the pallet jack. Do you ever ride a pallet jack, Josh?
No.
Fun. Pizza delivery driver says, when it was slow at the pizza shop, I'd wait for the manager to walk in the cooler and then lock the doors and shut off the lights on him.
Oh, I hated when people did that.
Did they do that to you?
Oh, yeah.
When people do that in the bathroom?
Yep.
Like a bathroom here? I've had that happen a couple times to me.
Oh, yeah. People
walking into stuff.
Yeah.
You're taking a whiz, somebody leaves the bathroom and turn the lights off. And
yep.
there's you can't see a damn thing in
the
that
bathrooms
bathroom.
here are pitch black.
So they used to They used to lock you in the cooler at some of your food jobs, Wapple?
They didn't lock me in, but they definitely shut off the lights.
What's the longest you were ever locked into the cooler?
Oh, I wasn't locked in, but I mean, I was bumping into stuff for at least 40 seconds.
There you go.
That happened to me. I worked at a restaurant. It happened to me. I spent 1995 in that cooler.
Set up a little tent and just like you were climbing Mount Everest. Oh, how would you react to this? Weld QC Sheezes. Worked with a guy that would put June bugs in other people's gloves.
I would hate
That's not funny. That's messed up, man.
Vaseline on the door handles.
Classic.
Yeah.
This was at a clinic. Sick of the cold, Jesus says, for a goof, I would put Vaseline on the door handle so when the doctor would walk into his office, his hands would be covered. These are cops here, pranking each other by filling their air vents with baby powder and putting the damn fan on high. That's hot fuzz Jesus. I don't know what these folks do for a living, but they had a fart and an animal sound machine that they would put in the ceiling.
Oh, that's great.
So you're wondering, what the hell was that? Who farted? Why is there a monkey in the... some of this stuff, I mean, you got balls. Especially doing this to the boss. A listener says our boss was a prick. So we went into his car,
moved his electric, the electric driver's seat, moved it back as far as possible. He was a short little guy. They moved his seat back as far as possible and then took the fuses out. How about when you go to a Busch Latte Jesus says, we had guys who, when they got to work, would change into work boots. So we'd take their regular shoes and super glue them to the floor. Someone involved in carpentry says, you wouldn't believe the amount of caulk jokes we can tell in a week.
Oh, yeah. I've got a buddy who's a plumber, and he says that sometimes that'll be the whole day coming up with caulk jokes.
Guy goes into the Biffy, you nose the work truck up to the door and make him sit in there for 20 minutes. Gator Jesus says it was 90 degrees outside and they pinned this sumbitch in the Biffy. Okay, we were talking about the freezer. Fast food people, restaurant people. Maybe you had some pranks locking folks in the freezer. Did you know about this one, Wapple? Fast food worker says, one of my coworkers, when they piss me off, I swipe their car keys, I put them in a glass of water, and I put it in the freezer.
That's good.
That's smart.
Yeah, a lot of these are very clever.
Unbelievable. Put the boss's number up on Craigslist and said he had 4 front row tickets to a Justin Bieber concert. Welders will weld each other's tools to the table if they have a dispute.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
This one,
I'm afraid I'd be embarrassed at how long that would take me to figure out.
Well, yeah.
Just be trying to get this thing lifted up.
I'd end up burning myself to death. This is just, I don't even know where to go with this one. Big gut tow truck, Jesus. We play a game where you yell, honey, I'm home, and then you hit your coworker in the balls. I don't encourage that. I don't like that game, but what the significance of honey, I'm home, I don't know.
That makes it good.
That's what makes it beautiful.
While remodeling the Capitol, a coworker and I put a cardboard cutout to resemble a penis and placed it in the glass ceiling of the Senate. So when you looked up at the skylight, you saw a big D. Lasted half the day, says Scaffold Jeebus. So white it hurts, Jesus here. We would make male and female genital-shaped pizzas and trade them for tacos at Taco Bell.
Nice.
Army truck driver Jesus said made a 4-foot expanding spray foam penis with balls.
Oh!
When someone would go into the shop bathroom, we'd blast an air horn under the door. The original toolmaker Jesus said used to shoot things out of the air hose guns in the shop until I dropped a coworker at 100 feet with a JFK reenactment shot. That ended that one.
What was he shooting with that?
I don't know. Oh. My grandpa's coworker brought a hard-boiled egg every day and cracked it by hitting it on his own forehead. One day, my grandpa switched it with a raw egg.
That's beautiful.
It's a still milk queen Jesus.
That's effing beautiful. Dumbass cracks an egg on his own damn head.
When I was working for a medical device company, a buddy and I volunteered for some OT working on a Saturday in the warehouse. We had to check in returns on one of the warehouse lady's computers. Before we left for the day, we rigged her computer to play the Blazing Saddles fart scene every time she received an email. Monday came, we were called into the manager's office and asked never to come back. They got fired for that. That's a good bit.
How do you even do that?
This person says we had a fire extinguisher fight in the storage garage. I didn't know it was the powder-filled ones. We both about died from choking.
Oh, yeah, that's tough.
My father-in-law had a butt crack of a coworker in his face all day. Left a penny in the sun on the hood of his truck for a couple hours. Told the dude to pull up his pants repeatedly, but the man wouldn't do it. Dropped the penny in his crack, did the hot penny dance.
God dang.
Says Wisco water pipe pounding Jesus.
I bet that was a real boogie that he put together, too, a real disco dance.
This is another one I wish I could have come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Or knew how to do. We wired the brake pedal to the horn on the boss's car.
Mm-hmm.
And this person replaced the backup beeper on their mechanic's truck to play La Cucaracha. That'd be fun anytime he's in reverse, wouldn't it?
You got to know how to have a good... Do you think... this was a text I received. Did someone really have nail gun fights?
Ooh, jeez.
Let's maybe dial that back a little
Sounds
bit.
like a bad idea, yeah.
But you want to talk... This one got me laughing more than anything, just because of just the idea.
You want to talk about someone who's ready to F off at work. Mail Harvester Jesus says, I know a guy, he sells out his hometown. I'm going to say it. I'm just going to go for it. A guy in Wanamingo. Beautiful town, south of here. Milk Harvester Jesus says, I know a guy in Wanamingo who hired a guy just so they'd have enough people to play euchre.
Oh, really?
That's incredible. We're one short of the number we need to play euchre. We better hire that guy.
This must have been good.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
The half-assed morning show backtracks.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Are you ready to beat the heat this summer? Standard Heating and Air Conditioning is here to help you say goodbye to sweltering heat and hello to ultimate comfort. Ashley, what specials do they have going on this month?
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.
The Rolling Stone Music Now podcast gets inside the biggest stories with Rolling Stone senior writer Brian Hyatt, Snoop Dogg, and Lotto.
Let me give you one of my secrets. I remain the biggest kid in the room at all times. There's a kid in you can't believe that. Look at where you at. Keep making it about fun.
Yeah, we blessed to be able to do a job that's like fun.
There's two funds that's the most important funds in the world. Funds that you make off of the fun that you have.
Rolling Stone Music Now, wherever you listen.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show Backtracks Edition.
Did you hear about the top 10 Jennifers?
What, top 10 Jens?
The top 10 Jens?
No, I didn't.
Oh, I believe I saw this on the Chive. They say Jennifers are hot, talented, and they just might be the best named woman out there. Jennifers. So they've taken upon themselves their social media team. So I'm gonna put this on the Chive again. I believe it's their social media team put together a list of the top 10 Jennifers of all time. You have any favorites?
Yes.
Yeah, a couple. Aniston.
Oh, wait a minute.
Wobble. Wobble was lost into the shorts there.
Dude, my girl, Jennifer Lawrence.
Get your hands up on the table.
Yeah. There's a woman in the room with you. Come on. Be respectful.
Do you have any favorites? Yes.
That was creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she sounds like she's in danger.
Starting with number 10, I'm not following this. And it's in the top 10 Jennifers of all time. You'd think I would have heard of her. Number 10 is Jay Wow.
Yeah, I don't know why she's on list from Jersey Shore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never saw it.
She's funny.
Yeah, I like her.
Jay Wow.
Mm-hmm.
What's she doing, Jay, now?
I still film in Jersey Shore.
She's got a kiddo. I think she might have like 2 kids now.
Jersey Shore was a reality show, a bunch of donkeys running around drunk. That was about it.
She was the best one though.
But it's still going on. They're still filming it.
It really?
They are?
Yeah, they are.
Snooki still on there?
Snooki's still on it.
Yeah,
Everybody's still on there. Most of them are sober now after coming out of rehab and stuff like that.
Let me ask you and Ashley something. Why the hell did you watch that program?
I don't know.
I watched the first couple episodes when it first came out.
It's one of those things. It's like a car accident. It's
Yeah.
so bad you can't look away.
It's just disaster television.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I can relate to that. I mean, you didn't actually buy any of it, did you?
No, of course it's all set up,
right.
but it's just they were just drunk and funny and stupid and awful.
So what is she? So she's still this Jay Wow still?
Yeah, they're filming a new season right now. I saw recently.
I didn't know they could do this, but it's real Jennifers and fictional Jennifers. Number 9, Jennifer, not Jennifer, but Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Couldn't disagree more.
I hated her.
Yeah, she's terrible.
She's a terrible person.
She's awful. Awful.
It is so nice.
She's pretty. That she's got pretty, but she is a horrible person.
She's horrible.
What's happening?
She took advantage of Forrest Gump the entire movie.
Yeah,
She was the
like,
world's biggest CTs. She was so full of crap.
Yeah, and then she goes and gets sick, and she's like, "Oh, hi, I love you." Like, no, get out of here.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Oh, I have AIDS now. I'm willing to to settle down with you.
Yeah, no other man will be interested in me at this point. I'm going to give you what you've always wanted.
Yeah.
What does CTs mean?
A CTs.
Tease, like a tease.
Oh, the letter
I can't
C.
say the bad word.
Yeah, I understand. The
Like
letter C.
A wiener tease.
She was okay. Man, you guys don't like Jenny from
No,
Forrest
you
Gump.
guys fired up there
She
early.
was honestly, she's one of the worst characters in any movie ever.
I was sitting at Bubba Gump Shrimp in the Mall of America, and they have like Forrest Gump on repeat there. And after like 3 Long Islands, I'm yelling at the TV. I'm like, I hate you, Jenny. I hate you.
Hang on a second. You go sit down at the Forrest Gump restaurant. They play the movie every day?
Oh, they play it like on repeat.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's awesome.
That sounds miserable.
It's a nice uplifting movie to watch while you're having some Long Island
Oh,
shrimp.
I hated the movie. I hated Forrest Gump. I thought it was horrible. It was stupid.
Ugh.
I like the movie. I just couldn't stand her.
Stupid
I love you, Jenny.
Ugh.
Wow, that was fun. I had no idea.
You know, when you said Jenny's, I started going through a couple in my head. I was not expecting Jenny Gump to come up, and then also not expecting to get that fired up about it.
I love it. I love that you guys went after Jenny from Forrest Gump.
For me, I mean, it's Jennifer Aniston, number 1.
Duh.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, number 2. And then I'm not into the, what's the one you like? Jennifer Lawrence?
Yeah.
Maybe she's just too young.
Oh,
she's so cool.
I'm trying
He's just
to...
a big Hunger Games nerd.
Are you really?
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, I like the movies. Yeah.
Jennifer Connelly comes in at number 8, and when I see her, I recognize her, but I don't think I've ever seen her in a movie. Do you guys know who that is? Mm-hmm. Jennifer Connelly. She's very pretty.
From Labyrinth?
Yeah.
Yes,
Labyrinth,
Josh.
Requiem for a Dream.
I've never seen any of her movies, but
She's
I know she's insanely attractive. Mm-hmm. But it looks like a lot of what she did was in the 90s. So how's she doing? Anyone know what she's doing now? Is she on Jersey Shore?
Oh, it looks like she's in the new Top Gun movie that's coming out.
Oh, cool.
Oh, Cubby.
She plays Penelope Penny Benjamin.
I wonder what her role will be in Top Gun. But help me out. The next Top Gun movie, is it going to be Tom Cruise's character as an old man? Or
He comes back to be the flight instructor.
Yeah, he's...
Oh!
I just looked it up. Jennifer Connelly plays Maverick's new love interest in the movie.
Oh.
So that's kind of top billing right there.
I really thought you were going to say she played his daughter.
No.
But love interest. Well, she's no kid anymore either.
No.
So, all right, fair enough.
I mean, shoot, when did Labyrinth come out?
I have never saw it. I
Yeah,
have no
Jennifer Connelly's 51.
What is Labyrinth? Isn't that David Bowie?
David Bowie, yeah.
Okay, I never saw it, but I know the name.
I liked that when I was a kid.
Labyrinth came out in 86.
The Los Angeles Times, by the way, calls Jennifer Connelly one of the world's most beautiful women, and she is stunning. Number 7, here you go, Cubby, Jennifer's Love Hewitt.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She's incredible.
An accomplished actress with a Golden Globe nomination. She was a teenage star in the movie I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Can't hardly wait.
Sure, she's done a lot of things. I really liked her in a few things, and plus she's scorching hot. Mm-hmm. Number 6 was yes.
No, I was going to say that helps. She is definitely scorching hot.
Number 6 was kind of a surprise to me when I was reading it earlier. Jennifer Coolidge.
I can understand that.
Oh, you know who I'm talking about?
Stifler's mom.
Oh, Jesus. You guys are good.
Stifler's mom, man.
Yeah. She wouldn't have been top of mind for me, but I could see why she's on that list.
She's hilarious.
Yeah, she's funny, very funny.
She was also in White Lotus, the HBO show that came out that was big earlier this year, and she was great in that.
They say Jennifer's a well-accomplished actress and an overall very funny person. I certainly remember the Stifler's mom character from American Pie. I keep trying to get involved in this Two Broke Girls effing sitcom because I love the dark-haired lady.
Kat Dennings.
What is that?
Kat Dennings.
She makes me crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I like her attitude.
She's married to Andrew WK now.
Why?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Well, he likes to party.
Why would anyone marry Andrew WK?
You're going to have to ask Kat Dennings that.
Jennifer Coolidge is in the show, Two Broke Girls. Okay, I'll try to get involved in that.
Yeah, there's something about her.
Yeah. Number 5 is Jennifer Hudson.
Oh, yeah, very pretty.
Mm-hmm. Very talented.
Oscar, 2 Grammys.
I don't know if I've ever seen her in anything.
A Golden Globe. I've seen her in one thing. She was named one of Time Magazine's 100 most influential people in the entire world.
That's super cool.
And the movie I saw her in, although I didn't see the whole damn thing, she and Beyonce are singing in
Dreamgirls.
Dreamgirls. Mm-hmm. Did you ever see Cubby, Dreamgirls?
No.
It's pretty cool. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I mean, what I saw of it. I saw about an hour. It's about these singers who, they start off in the 50s and they break up and then they keep singing and this and that. Eddie Murphy, Jamie Foxx, Danny Glover, mm-hmm. The guy who played, maybe. Anyway, it's cool. And she's an incredible singer.
Yeah.
Absolutely incredible. Number 4 is Jennifer Lopez.
She could have been the first lady of the Timberwolves. We were so close.
Dude, she dodged such a bullet.
Once my daughter found out that A-Rod was going to buy the Timberwolves, she was pumped because she thought she'd be able to maybe run into J-Lo somewhere. And then that relationship fizzled.
She was pretty bummed by that.
She was so excited at first.
Jennifer Lopez, of course, my damn. I mean, the first woman to have a number 1 album and a number 1 film in the same week. She's won everything.
Mm-hmm.
And she can do everything. Very influential. Makes many lists of most powerful celebrities in town. You know, that kind of a thing.
I came up with another one that I want to put ahead of Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Yes?
Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not Jennifer. I forgot her name. Garner.
Joey Lawrence?
Oh, yeah. Jennifer Garner.
Jennifer Garner.
Actually, you know what? I'm putting her at number 1.
All right, we'll see where she falls.
My number 1 would be Garner, and then Aniston, and then Love Hewitt.
We're up to number 3 now on the all-time Jennifer list. And it's Jennifer Lawrence. Now, that's the one that Wapple was touching himself?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's sweet.
J-Law.
J-Law?
She just had a baby.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
She was the highest paid actress between 2015 and 2016. Ooh, that's a good run.
She also had the sweet line of George Clooney told her at an award show, he's like, hey, you look like one of my ex-girlfriends. And she said, well, do I look like your next girlfriend?
Nice.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You should use that exact phrase on somebody.
I'm glad she shot her shot.
Yeah.
She is being called here in this article very influential, one of the most influential people in the world, a kick-ass, hilarious person.
Likes to get hammered.
She likes to get hammered?
Yeah, she parties.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched, kind of like what I said with Jennifer Connelly, I don't think I've ever seen a Jennifer Lawrence movie. Oh, wait a minute. There was a really confusing, artsy-fartsy, awful movie that she was in a couple years ago where, as I was watching it, I thought, am I losing my mind? And I know folks know what it is. Look it up if you can, Wapple. Artsy-fartsy, awful, no one knew what the hell was going on movie.
Is it Mother?
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
yes.
yeah, that is a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
I skipped that one.
I didn't see all of it. I saw some of it, and it was so bizarre, I couldn't. Number 2 is Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
And
I'm surprised she's not number 1.
I am too, because I feel like people say Jen. That's what I think who people think of.
Yeah.
I think she should be number 1. Matter of fact, I mean, what's the old saying? This person needs no introduction.
Yeah.
Unlike the rest of this list of the great all-time Jennifers, where they explain she's done this, this, and this. With Jennifer Aniston, they don't say a damn thing.
Yeah, don't need to.
It's just, there you go.
Yeah, her bio kind of just is known by people.
Yeah, it's actually weird because it says, you want to know how I feel about Jennifer Aniston? Click here. And so I clicked there, and it's like every Friends character ranked by their hotness. And like they're like a picture from a scene, and I think like 50 of them are her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's very creepy.
Where's Gunther on there?
It's not. He didn't make the list.
Cubby number 1 is Jennifer Garner.
I'm actually surprised she's on this list. I don't know if she's top of mind. Maybe because of her commercials.
13 going on 30 rules.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, she'd be my number 1. She just seems like a sweet, down-to-earth, funny person.
I went to a taping of
13 going on 30 rules.
It does.
I love that movie. Yeah.
You too. Her and Ruffalo, they kill it. But of Jennifer Garner, though, I was at a taping of Jimmy Fallon once, and you see celebrities on screen, you're like, oh wow, they've got professional makeup artists, touched up everything in magazines. She came out, she's even better looking in person than she was. Yeah, like I was just blown away. I was like holy crap, she's just radiant and magnificent and glowing.
And doesn't she seem just like a nice person?
She was super sweet. Like because they go to this taping, but they go to commercial, and they kind of like change the set around. She would like talk to the audience and stuff, and she was just very sweet and very nice.
That's cool.
Jennifer Garner is absolutely one of the prettiest things. It says here she's won a Golden Globe, 4 straight nominations for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama. I'm not sure what program she got those nominations from.
Would it be Elektra? Was that a drama? Wasn't that kind of a decent...
Well,
am I thinking of the right show?
Elias or Alias?
Alias.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think it was Alias.
Elias. Hello, I am Elias.
I hate that show.
What show?
Alias.
Elias.
Just because
I don't know.
It's like that show that, when like your Hulu will just start playing random stuff. That's the show it always plays, and so I hate it.
I usually select what I want to watch on Hulu.
Well, I mean, I fall asleep.
Yeah,
a
I
lot,
know.
so.
It also says here Jennifer Garner works to promote national literacy, nutrition, and early education efforts for young children.
And earning credit card points.
Yes. She knows how to stuff a wallet.
Oh, she's giving me a series regular in the revival of Party Down. That's awesome.
What does that mean?
The show Party Down came out a number of years ago, and it was on Starz, so nobody really saw it. But then it came out on DVD and it on streaming, and everybody realized how wonderful it was, so they're doing a reboot of it.
Have you always had the same television programming choices as the average 14-year-old?
That does look really good, actually, Dana.
Party Down?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a show. It's a very adult show.
I was kind of busting your balls about 13 going on 30.
No, yeah.
13. So, Wapple, Jack Nicholson, folks are saying is who J-Law said that about, not George Clooney. Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay.
Here's a listener that says, we got a top 10 Jennifer list here, and Eliza Dushku doesn't make it? What the hell's going on with this list?
And I forgot, the original Toolmaker Jesus, Ben Affleck, has been with 2 of the top 3 gens.
Wow, good for him.
Garner and Lopez.
I just probably snuck another one or two of there in there, too, we just don't know about.
I'm sure you're right.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Celebrate Christmas in July with Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. Get huge savings with $1,776 off a new multi-head ductless system. Visit standardheating.com to discover all the goodies in Santa's bag.